Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today we're going to be making a fish and shrimp soup, which is a new thing for me because I've done like a bisque with crab in it before or shrimp in it, but I've never actually put fish in the soup. So I'm anxious to see how this tastes and how it turns out. But anyway, before I get started, let me just say if you are new here and you love food and you love fun, you're in the right spot. Hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take a couple of tablespoons of butter and toss it down in my saucepan. We're going to get that melted. And we're also going to add to this a half of an onion that I've chopped up pretty finely. I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir. And we're just going to let this cook for a minute or so. And while that's cooking, I've got my shrimp here. And what I want to do is, I actually have another seafood dish that I'm going to make this week. So I'm going to pull the tails off of here and I'm going to reserve them. And also the shells so that I can make a shrimp stock out of this later. So I'm going to peel all these off while our onion starts sweating a little bit. All right, now that I got the last one of those done, I'm going to set my sound like I said shit. I'm going to set my shrimp shells aside. I told you guys I cannot say anything that has like two of the same consonant in there. Anyway, we're going to give our onions a good little stir here. And I'm going to add to this a couple of cloves of garlic. And these were like extra big, so I had to cut them in half. But the good thing is I didn't have to peel them because I got my Pampered Chef garlic press here. So we just take the peels back out and drop our next clove in. So I've got two really big, large ones here. One more. All right, we're going to set this out of the way. I'm going to give this a stir, and then I'm going to let this cook for just a little bit longer, maybe a minute or so. And while that's cooking, I'm going to take my fish and my shrimp, and I'm going to go ahead and chop it up into kind of like bite-sized pieces. All right, so I've got my shrimp all cut up. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my seasonings. So I've got a couple of bay leaves I'm throwing in. I've got a teaspoon and a half of dried thyme, and then I also have a pinch of saffron here that I've soaked in boiling water for about a half an hour. So I'm going to add the water along with the saffron in there. And if you don't have saffron, you can use a little bit of, I think it's pronounced turmeric, but I call it turmeric. So you can also use that as well. But I'll have the full ingredients and recipe in the description below. So I'm going to give this a quick stir. And we're going to let this cook for about one more minute, and I'll go ahead and cut my fish up while I'm waiting on that. All right, so my fish is chopped. I'm going to add my fish and shrimp together so I can add them all at one time. Set those aside. Then we're going to add in 2 cups of vegetable broth. Whoa. Oh my goodness, look. That thing's coming out the top. Guess we're going to have to use this right away. All right. So 1 and 2. All right, so 2 cups of vegetable stock. I'm going to give this a stir really quick. One thing I forgot to add was a pinch of salt. A couple of pinches. Definitely need to give it a little bit of salt. All right. Then I've got a half a cup of corn I'm going to add. And also a can of fire roasted tomatoes, undrained. And then I got to grab my lid here. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. And then once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit and I'm going to let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Okay, now that this has been simmering for a while, I can go in and add my shrimp and my fish. And then I'm going to let this cook for, I don't know, 5 to 8 more minutes probably, just until our shrimp turns pink and our fish is nice and flaky. All right, I think our soup is just about done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my bay leaves out. If I can find them, that's always the issue, right? Where did they go? Where did they go? I'll probably end up eating it later. I don't see it. We're just going to leave it in there. I'll tell you what else we're going to put in here. I'm going to put a handful of baby spinach in. Maybe a couple of handfuls. Give this a stir. We'll let that cook just a little bit until our spinach wilts a little bit. And that is looking good. Oh, there's our other bay leaf. We can take it out. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pour myself a little bowl of this. And I love this ladle. Look at this ladle. So you can strain on this side or pour with that side. You know how sometimes you get soup and sometimes you get too much of the goodies and sometimes you get too much of the liquid. Well, with this ladle, you can pick exactly what you want in your bowl. Ooh, look how pretty that is. That has got some pretty colors in it with the spinach and the tomatoes. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, let's see if I can taste this without burning my mouth like I did last time. Make sure we get a piece of fish in here, since I've never put fish in soup before. It is really hot. It's really good. It's really good. I've never put fish in soup before, but I love it. I mean, I love seafood anyway. But the fish is, you know, it's flaky. I love the little bites of corn in here. And I love the flavor of the saffron. But again, if you don't have that on hand, you know, you can put the turmeric, however you say it, in there instead. And the other thing I love about this is so fast to cook. I mean, it's like, you know, under 30 minutes or so. All right, I better get this off the heat. Put my lid back on here. So give that a try, especially if you've never put fish in soup before like I hadn't. So it's really good. Yeah. All right, give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.